So this morning I went for a walk. As usual, I tend to record my thoughts. You could see all similar videos like this on my adventure channel or my fitness channel where I'm just recording whatever's in my mind. So this morning was one of those days. With everything going on, I sort of, I had a moment and I just recorded it. And I want to share it with you. And then once I got home, I saw in the news, I think even while I was walking, I saw on my phone that the Rock had put out a statement, and Meghan Markle had put some statement, and other prominent individuals have done so. But these two, the Rocks and Meghan, I will pick out some key points of what they said and include it in this video. So enjoy the video. So I was walking here and I'm thinking, the thing that's going on around the world, protests, especially in the United States. And this is something that many of them needs to understand, is to go vote. I'm sure some of them who's protesting crazy, they're upset, they never go vote. This is something I've been showing my kids to vote. Sometimes I take them with me at the voting booth to vote. I have one day, I'll come back. Yeah. So it's about 7:45 a.m. I just dropped my son, my oldest, to school. It's election day. Public schools don't have school, but his school does. So right after I dropped him off, I went to vote, and the line went around. So I'm upset. I know my voice is at the voting booth. So people need to learn to vote and exercise the power of their voting, because there's so many people who had died for them to have that right, and many of them didn't use it, and now they still have to fight. If they had continued what their ancestors had fought for them, continue the process, that one, we'll be focusing on a different battle. But we keep on going back and back and back and back, and each time we make the progress and we rest. We think everything is okay. Those people never forget. They still want to take. So pretty much is to vote. Teach your kids to vote. Oh, the tide is getting high. But anyway, I'm just doing a little walk, heading home now. So yeah, exercise your right to vote. Every single election. The smaller ones are more important than the big one, than the general elections. If you look at a president of the United States, he cannot send troops, National Guard, to another state unless the governor of that state asks for it. So yeah, every single election matters. And the kind of power that the president of the United States is because they're letting him do it. Because majority of the things that he's doing are not written for him. They were written for other leaders, other people who have certain position. But anyway, time will tell. Just exercise your right to vote.
Where are you? Where is our leader? Where are you? Where is our leader at this time? At this time when our country is down on its knees, begging, pleading, hurt, angry, frustrated, in pain, begging and pleading with its arms out, just wanting to be heard, begging and pleading and praying for change. Where are you? Where is our compassionate leader who's going to step up to our country, who's down on its knees and extend a hand and say, you stand up. Stand up with me. Stand up with me because I got you. I got you. I got you. I hear you. I'm listening to you. And you have my word that I'm going to do everything in my power and until my dying day, my last breath, to do everything I can to create the change that is needed to normalize equality because Black lives matter.
Immaculate Heart High School, graduating class of 2020. For the past couple weeks, I've been planning on saying a few words to you for your graduation. And as we've all seen over the last week, what is happening in our country and in our state and in our hometown of LA has been absolutely devastating. And I wasn't sure what I could say to you. I wanted to say the right thing, and I was really nervous that I wouldn't, or that it would get picked apart. And I realized the only wrong thing to say is to say nothing, because George Floyd's life mattered, and Breonna Taylor's life mattered, and Philando Castile's life mattered, and Tamir Rice's life mattered. And so did so many other people whose names we know and whose names we do not know. Stephon Clark, his life mattered. And I was thinking about this moment when I was a sophomore in high school. As you know, sophomore year is the year that we do volunteer work, which is a prerequisite for graduating. And I remember my teacher at the time, one of my teachers, Miss Palia, said to me before I was leaving for a day of volunteering, always remember to put others' needs above your own fears. First thing I want to say to you is that I'm sorry. I am so sorry that you have to grow up in a world where this is still present. And those memories don't go away. And I can't imagine that at 17 or 18 years old, which is how old you are now, that you would have to have a different version of that same type of experience. That's something that you should have an understanding of, but an understanding of as a history lesson, not as your reality. So I am sorry that in a way we have not gotten the world to the place that you deserve it to be. The other thing, though, that I do remember about that time was how people came together. And we are seeing that right now. We are seeing that from the sheriff in Michigan or the police chief in Virginia. We are seeing people stand in solidarity. We are seeing communities come together and to uplift. And you are going to be part of this movement. I know that this is not the graduation that you envisioned, and this is not the celebration that you imagined. But I also know that there's a way for us to reframe this for you and to not see this as the end of something, but instead to see this as the beginning of you harnessing all of the work, all the values, all the skills that you have embodied over the last 4 years, and now you channel that. Now all of that work gets activated. Now you get to be part of rebuilding. And I know sometimes people say, how many times do we need to rebuild? Well, you know what? We are going to rebuild and rebuild and rebuild until it is rebuilt. Because when the foundation is broken, so are we. You are going to lead with love. You are going to lead with compassion. You are going to use your voice. You are going to use your voice in a stronger way than you've ever been able to. Because most of you are 18 or you're going to turn 18, so you're going to vote.